And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Dragons!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yep.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
The playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
And talked about it since then, but
yep.
So what was your impression of the Dogs against Clemson?
Well, Bill, starting that first half, I thought we played pretty well that first half. I mean, if you were to told me before that game, hey, we're going to be 13-6 going into halftime, and we're going to get the ball started the second half, I would have said, yeah, I would take that all day. So
yeah,
so I felt like that first half we played pretty well, and then and so I felt pretty comfortable as far as how our defense played. Offense didn't put our defense in too terribly of a bad spot there in that first half. So I was very pleased of how we played overall. But start that second half, we get ball, second play, we turn it over. Then they score right there within the first their first or second play. There after the turnover, we go 3 and out. They score again. So within the first couple of minutes of the second half, we're already down 21 points. So it was just a bad start of the second half. But I felt like we played pretty well throughout the whole game, as far as we didn't give up there in that third quarter where we made it kind of competitive back again, to where Dabo had to put his starters back in. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
So overall, I think we played pretty well compared to, look, it's the number 5 team in the country at their place. I mean, I felt like we played pretty well as a team.
Yeah, and I was the same way. When that fourth quarter started, we were kind of, we dug ourselves into a mighty hole again. And yeah, that's the first thing I thought was, oh man, this here we go. And then we pop a couple of touchdowns, and yeah, all of a sudden you saw that Dabo was a little concerned. So you're like, hey, we're doing something here. And that's I think we were. I mean, we definitely had momentum in our favor, and had on our heels a little bit. And plus with the, with their backups in there, well, I mean, they were doing pretty good, but still without their quarterback in there, I think he was a little worried about it, because we scored that second touchdown. Well, that was still 9.5 minutes left in the game. So
and Bill, we only ran the ball for 21 yards that whole game. So speaking of that, I mean, I felt like we played extremely well as far as only running the ball for 21 yards that whole game. I felt like that our offensive wise, we did okay.
Oh, and the well, yeah, I guess the actual running yards was 21, but you know how
21.
But you know how they after they figured the sacks, we actually had a net of 6 yards for the and that's of course if you tell me, if you were telling me, hey, it's you're playing number 5 Clemson and you're gonna have 6 yards rushing, of course I would have thought it was 75-0.
Yep. But I mean, Bill, that's been our Achilles heel all season so far, is we cannot run the ball. I mean, that is our biggest, that in turnovers. I mean, we're leading the nation in turnovers. If we can correct those two things, I think our defense is not bad. I really like what Scott Power has done. I like those 2 cornerbacks that he brought with him from Stephen F. Austin. If we can just eliminate those 2 things, I think, we still have something to play for down the road.
Yeah, like I said, we had 3 interceptions this time, and 2 fumbles. I guess we only lost 1 fumble.
One fumble. Yep.
But geez, I mean, you can't keep giving them the ball for turnovers. That's just too much. I mean, especially with a good team. Now, yeah, we may can turn over 4 times against Stephen F. Austin, but we can't do that here.
Yeah. Our defense is not that good to keep bailing the offense out against teams like a Missouri, Clemson, heck, even a South Alabama team that just might win the West. They're in the Sun Belt.
And you see what Missouri did with Georgia this week.
Georgia, yeah.
Holy cow.
Man, this is the craziest football season I've seen, I think, since like 2007. I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of those football seasons to where you're just going to keep getting shocked every week because you're just not expecting what's happening.
Right. Oh, yeah. And of course, we mentioned only 6 yards net rushing against Clemson. So how bad was that Stephen F. Austin run defense if we hung 300 yards on them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's going to be very concerning if we can't run the ball against the UTEPs and the Rices going forward. Then Bill, then you got to look at it. Okay, is it the offensive line that's not meshing with the scheme that Cumbie won't or is Cumbie running? I don't know if this is the players that he actually, as far as offensive linemen, are these the type of offensive linemen that he even needs to run his scheme? So it's kind of like, okay, something's got to give here. Is it the offensive line or is it the scheme or what? But hopefully that can get figured out here sometime this year.
I hope so. Hey, and one thing I definitely wanted to make sure we talked about, and that was the Coach Cumbie. Well, we all heard the news that well, I forgot how you say his name.
Breeze, yeah.
Brise, yeah. The outstanding defensive tackle for Clemson lost his sister to cancer at the age of 15, and so he was out. And of course, they've had a lot going on dealing with that there at Clemson, and Coach Cumbie actually came out for warm-ups wearing a Ella Strong shirt.
Yep.
And and he also, from what I understand, he handed him a note, said this was a note for Brian and his family. Yep. And then after the game, he handed him a box of letters that each member of the Tech football team had written. And man, that's to me that I was so proud to be a Tech alumni and fan at that moment. I think what Coach Cumbie did there, that's going to make people remember him for years. And remember Louisiana Tech for years because of that, just that gesture. That gesture that these guys might not have spent 5 minutes on the bus, on the way to the airport writing it, but what that family, what that means to them is incredible.
That is, yeah, Bill. Because I remember whenever they first showed Dabo when the game started, it said Ella Strong, and I was like, man, what is that about? I really didn't know the story behind it.
Right.
But as the game went on, and then I think it really got some legs on Sunday, whenever everything really came out as far as what was it about, the exchange that Tech,
and the press conference,
all the players. Yeah, man, that was awesome, man. That just gave me chills and just makes you think, look, this is more football is just more than a game. This is about people, relationships, and like really caring and loving on each other. When someone's struggling, especially like him losing his sister, I can't imagine what he was going through at that time. But I thought it was just awesome how the players, every one of them, wrote them a handwritten letter, and just going that extra mile just really puts everything in perspective. That, man, their life is so short, and we just need to keep loving on each other as much as possible. But I thought it was awesome, and it kind of just reminds me of what just what Tech is all about. I think we're bigger than just what our logo is. I hope that we just won some fans over, and it was really awesome to see what Clemson did after the game. Was a lot of the fans donated $11 to the LTAC fund. I don't know if you heard about that or not, but I thought that was also nice for the Clemson fans to even do that. They didn't have to do that, but for a lot of them to donate $11 to us, I thought that was great on both parts.
And then to find out, that we had a member of our tech team that had gone through something similar. Patrick Ray, the punter that's from Australia, had lost his sister. I believe she was 11 and he was 12 at the time, or 13. So, so I mean, that's, less than 10 years ago when this happened to this guy. So, I mean, for him, it had been an emotional time. And of course, I think it was him that actually reached out to Coach Cumbie and said, I think we need to do something because he understood, what this guy and his family were going through. So, but that was just a great gesture. And it was a great gesture by Dabo Sweeney,
both parts,
to even mention it. He didn't have to bring it to his post-game press conference, and he talked about it for quite a while there.
And I followed Dabo for a while, and he just seems like a class guy, period. But even before this, I've always been a fan of Dabo. I feel like he carries himself very well. I think he runs a really, really good program. So I liked him before. I even like him a lot more now, especially after that. So I'll be rooting for Clemson and NC State. I'm also a big NC State fan. I felt like at that regional, their fans are great. We had some great. Yes, I mean that was just a great weekend. So those two schools, I'm really rooting for going forward. So
right. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, well, let's move on to our game from last week against South Alabama. And as good as I could feel about a loss like we had at Clemson, I felt just as bad about the loss at South Alabama.
South Alabama. Oh man. Yeah, that was just a bad start, Bill. I mean, they punched us right in the mouth right out the gate. Got 14-0. And it was just something we just couldn't crawl ourselves out of that hole. Just going down 14-0. It's just more turnovers. I think McNeil threw 4 picks. It's just a bad, just another picks. Just another bad offensive performance. We couldn't run the ball again. I think we got 57 yards.
57.
I think is what I saw.
That's right.
It's just when you turn the ball over and you can't run, and they continue to make us one-dimensional, it's going to be hard for us to win football games playing that style. So that hopefully that's two things they've corrected. I felt like this bye came at a really, really good time, even though I probably wouldn't have thought about that before the season started. But yeah, it was just a bad start. Just could not get our feet underneath us, and we just now look. Let's not take away from South Alabama. I think they're a really good football team, but but I don't think we're that bad than what we shown.
Well, I mean, they just went over to UCLA and lost by 2.
It should have won. It should have won.
Yeah,
I mean, they were in control of that game the whole time. I mean, they should have beaten UCLA. So that told me right there, this team's pretty good. But I didn't think they were 13 points better than us. But what do I know?
Right. Oh yeah. When I saw that spread, I was like, oh man, somebody's smoking something. There's no way that we're 13 points worse than them. But and there again, if you look at the box score and you look at it statistically,
they're competitive.
But they didn't beat us to death statistically. I mean, their quarterback had 214 yards passing, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah.
And then
we won time of possession too.
175 yards rushing. I mean, that's a little on the high side, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And then, and we had 251 passing, but then, like you said, 57 rushing.
Yep.
I mean, I think our key is if we don't start running the ball against some of these teams, we're going to be in for a long season.
A long season. Yeah. That's one thing that we got to get cleaned up, and we got to work on wherever, excuse me, whatever Sonny Cumbie's trying to do. Hopefully he can make some changes there over the bye week to where, look, we got to be somewhat effective. I mean, if we can just run 100 yards a game, that will at least eliminate them not making us one-dimensional. And so, man, that's just something I hope that we can correct going into this UTEP game on Saturday.
Absolutely. And I like to look back and be able to, see some things and I really hope that Parker McNeil by this point would be a little bit more comfortable. And
Yep.
I mean, 2 TDs, 4 picks. I mean, how many picks is he going to let him throw? Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And here's the thing, Bill, is like, all right, he's played McNeil and he's played Downing. We keep putting the square peg in a round hole. Are we going to make a change to Liddy when you make that change as far as when you give him that opportunity to do that? Because, you can't keep doing this and expecting the same results or expect different results. So there has to come to a point to where, okay, we got to say the heck with it with Landry Liddy's 4 games. We just got to, we can't. It's not working with McNeil or Downing at this point right now.
Right.
Let's just throw him out there and see what he can do as far as offensive wise, if we can get a little bit more consistency. But right now, it's just when do you come to that point of, okay, is it McNeil or Downing going forward?
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm still kind of on the Liddy train a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw, the
Okay.
little bit I saw him against Stephen F. Austin, and I've heard all the hype. And hey,
Yep.
like I said, he's got 3 more games to get into. Why not let this one? It's conference game. It's, it's now or never. I think, when's a better time than against your first conference game at home?
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where I hope, I don't want to put him in right now, but look, if things don't look in the first half of the UTEP game, if we're still, struggling on offense, then I think that second half is when you probably got to either make the change or you got to do something there in that second half, because there's no way we're going to be able to get through the season and have a successful season if they keep playing McNeil and Downing like this.
Oh, no. I haven't looked at what our total interceptions are for the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we got to be at least at 10.
Yep.
I think anyway, we're getting close to that. And
here's the thing, Bill. We got plenty of offensive weapons. It's not like we don't have the weapons to be successful. We got the pieces. It's just we got to make them fit, and that's what Comey needs to try to figure out. Is let's get these pieces to fit as best as we can for this year.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, because I hope we're not just giving up and saying, "Oh, hey, this is a rebuilding year." I hope we don't get to that point anyway. But I mean, you hit 5 or 6 losses, and I guess that's where you're where you kind of start headed. Yeah. So looking ahead to UTEP, it's homecoming. Should be pretty good festivities, and UTEP is no slouch.
Yep. Yeah, but Vegas has a 3-point favorite. So yeah, it seems like Vegas really didn't know, they don't have a grasp on what's going to happen in this game. So or
they
I really haven't followed.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have just horrible respect for UTEP. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But Bill, I feel like that we should win this game. I hope it's not a 3-point game. I hope it's a little bit more than that. But look, with this UTEP team coming in, playing them has really never been easy. So I feel like that it's going to be one of those games to where I hope we can get off to a better start than we did these last 2 weeks. But it's just kind of interesting to see what Cumbie is going to come out with after the bye week.
Right. So I see last year UTEP handled us pretty good.
Yeah.
I think they beat us. Was it 21-3 or I would have to go back and anyway, they won by several scores.
Yep.
And I know the previous year when the game was in Ruston, I think we beat them by the same score.
Yep.
So interesting to see how this one's going to go. I think it's going to be, I mean, the 3 points being favored by 3. I didn't think we'd be favored at all. So, especially after last week.
Yeah, which Vegas has always been pretty good with us as far as they seem to like us at home more than none. They must know something a little bit more than me as far as, but they really seem to like giving us or like us as far as points wise at home. So I feel like home field advantage is something to us. This according to Vegas.
Yeah.
So.
And of course the over and under is 52.5.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean,
that seems a lot.
I'm going to take the under on that.
Yeah. That seems a lot unless we can find some offense really quick.
Well, I mean, the last 2 years we haven't, the game hadn't gotten half that score.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know where they think this, the run and gun style of UTEP and La Tech is going to come in. Of course, we may have another 300-yard rusher or rushing game this week.
We gotta either it's whether it's Gardner or Harlan Dixon or if it's Crosby, one of those guys has to step up and take the bull by the horns, and hopefully they can just win, just get some kind of consistency there running the ball.
Oh yeah, and like I say, we've got the weapons to do it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we know we've got the weapons. It's just a matter of just making the right call. So, I was looking back at the UTEP. Yeah, we lost 19-3 last year against UTEP.
We just could not move the ball. It was very frustrating.
Oh, and we won 21-17 year before in 2020. Wow. So I mean, it's been fairly low scoring. So I'll be very surprised if that 52.5 hits. Maybe I better. Maybe I better run out and bet it right now before the line
exactly.
changes,
So.
So as far as UTEP, they are their quarterback Hardison, 1,266 yards so far this year, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and
he was there last year, wasn't he?
I think he is. He may be a junior. Okay, he's a junior. I thought he was a senior, but he's a junior. And his favorite target, Tyron Smith, 568 yards, 4 touchdowns, 33 receptions, 17.2 yards per catch.
Wow. So he's getting So, he's definitely getting a lot of chunk yards for an average that high. But I feel like our defense can really. I feel like our cornerbacks can match up with them because, I mean, like I said before, I think Scott Powers done a good job as far as handling the defense on that side of the ball. So I feel like our defense should keep us in this game. And so I feel like that this is going to be a game to where, look, if we can eliminate turnovers and try to run the ball, I think we have a really good shot of winning this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, I was looking back at Tyron Smith's the numbers on his long. When you mentioned that, big chunks, he had a 58-yard touchdown reception against Charlotte, and he had a 76-yard TD against New Mexico.
Oh wow!
So, definitely he's gotten a few chunks. Yeah, it's 120 something yards, 130 yards of it right there. So, let's see who their leading rusher is. Okay, looks like it's a Watt, 82 carries, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ronald A. Watt. Hadn't heard much about him or seen much. Of course, 365 yards, only 4.5 yards per carry. So, he's got
they don't scare us with the run game. So
No.
it seems like that they're kind of like us, where they have to pass to kind of get them over the hump. So look, if we could just kind of make them one dimensional, kind of turn the tables like these 4 teams have done to us, hopefully that's our best outcome going forward. But we'll see Saturday night there at the Joe. But I am excited for us to finally get back home. It seems like it's been a while for us that we have been home. So but I feel like it's going to be a good crowd. I feel like this is a big game as far as how the season goes forward. I feel like if we can win the game, put out a good showing, I think that's really going to help us out going into conference play as far as what the outlook or what the positivity of this season is going to be. So I'm kind of interested to see how we play Saturday. Hopefully we can put out a good performance to where we can have something to look forward to during conference play.
And it's going to be a beautiful homecoming day. I was looking at the weather. 1% chance of rain, 78 degrees, cloudy in the morning, and sunny all afternoon. So it should be a good day for a good day of Bulldog football. So
that's right.
Hopefully we can keep this home undefeated streak. Where are we at? 1, maybe 2 now. Maybe we can keep that going. Start a new streak anyway. All right. So hey, you have a prediction for UTEP?
Yeah, I'm saying Tech's going to win 27-18 is my prediction.
Well, Clay sent me his prediction. He is saying UTEP 27-14.
He's saying UTEP's going to win?
Yeah, he is. Clay's being a homer, because we do have a guy, Kelton Moss, defensive tackle at UTEP.
Okay.
He's from Jonesboro Hodge.
Okay.
And he basically lived with Clay's family for the high school. So, nice. He's kind of like family.
Yeah. So does he start? Does he get a lot of playing time or how?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
He's the starting D tackle, and he's
oh wow.
I think he's a 5th-year senior now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. When he was recruited out of high school, he played 2 years at Kilgore.
Yeah.
And then he's been over at UTEP
then he went out there
for the last.
Oh, okay,
this is his
good.
3rd year at UTEP. So
nice.
But yeah, he's
that's good.
Yeah, Kelton Moss, big. He wears number 7.
Yeah. Okay.
He'll be the big guy in the middle. He's easy to spot.
That is a unique number for a defensive tackle.
Oh yeah, it is. Definitely stands out. He'll be the one in the big orange shirt. It looks like a little white 7.
Yeah. So does Clay have a jersey cut in half, where he's half Tech, half UTEP? Or
I need to bring that up to him. Yeah, he watches about as much UTEP as he does Tech. I know he doesn't miss a game, so yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, this is kind of a cool homecoming game for
him.
Especially like last year or year before last, they played at ULM, and there was a whole load of us that went over there to watch UTEP at ULM. So, and they went to Southern Miss and watched them last year too.
That's awesome. So what is your prediction?
My prediction, I'm saying 24-21 Tech.
And a nail biter, squeaker.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
And if we do lose, I think it's gonna be close. So, it's gonna be a tight one, I think. And so yeah, well, hopefully we wish the Dogs good luck. Of course, we wish Kelton and UTEP good luck, but we hope y'all are healthy and arrive back safe. But
that's right.
We do hope we win. So, well, let's talk real quick. We got about 5 or 6 minutes left. Let's hit on some area high school stuff. But it was a big week this last week. I know down
For your
in
Jonesboro Hodge?
Jonesboro.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
Big win over Pineville. That's awesome.
Yeah, Pineville 5A, and they said this was the first time that Jonesboro Hodge had 2 5A schools on the record.
Wow.
In the same. Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. Hosted. We had 2 5A teams come here to play.
Yeah.
And did really well. It was kind of an odd. The first 2 scores were safeties because of bad snaps in the end zone. So it was 4-0, and then we got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and it was 12-0. But if I'd have said, "Hey, it's 12-0," how do you think we scored? 2 safeties, 2 touchdowns, and 2 extra. Well, we ended up scoring in the second half. We scored another touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So we ended up with 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, and 2 safeties.
Wow, that is something you don't see.
No, well, seeing two safeties in a game is weird enough. So
that's very impressive. Yeah.
But yeah, they pulled it out 20-10. It was a good game. Could have scored again. Had it 1st and goal. Did we drop out? You hear me now?
No, you're there. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay. Had the ball 1st and goal at the 3, with like a minute and a half left, and I won't say we killed the clock, but we didn't score again anyway. So that ended well.
What was that score?
20-10.
Okay. Wow. So you hit them. Wow. Well, that's very impressive for a 2A school to go in there, or to have 5A school come in and and win like that. That's just, which I've heard Pineville has been struggling this year.
Yeah.
But still, that's still impressive for a 2A school to go up against a 5A school. I mean, that right there in itself is really going to catapult y'all going into district play. To me, that should give y'all an extra shot in the arm to where, look, that's very, very impressive there. And I'm just happy for Coach Blank and just all those players down there.
And I really hope it is a shot in the arm, because we got to travel to Red River this week, and that's not going to be an easy place to play.
That's very, very competitive. And look, Red River has been they've been pretty solid here these last couple of years.
Yep.
So.
And since we actually played our game on Thursday last week, so I got to sit at home. I was too lazy to drive to Ruston, so I did sit at home and watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
courtesy of the Neville Tiger YouTube channel. So I did. I watched that whole game. That was a great game.
Man, Ruston has really, really surprised me this year. I never would have, if you would have asked me what the record would be in non-district play, I never would have thought it'd be 4-1. Just very impressive of how the guys responded, especially after that Warren Easton game where they could have been so down and just could have really just had that season go the opposite way. And instead of, 4-1 with that gauntlet of a schedule.
I was going to say, if you're, you lose that Warren Easton game and you get down about that, and then when you come back to practice on Monday and you look at who you got to play next week, you
got to play Jesuit. Yeah,
we ain't got no time for
exactly
feeling sorry for yourself.
Yep, and you go from Jesuit, and then you go to Cabot, Arkansas, which they said, they're a 7A school. They were number 3 in the state. And then it's just crazy how that game turned out, because the Jesuit and the Cabot game kind of turned out the same way.
The one last week.
Yeah.
Lafayette,
my gosh. With Lafayette Christian, you got to go down there.
That blew me away.
And then, it was 14-0 late in that second quarter. We got a pick 6 and made it 14-7 going into halftime. And then we come out with 2 straight onside kicks, get them both, score both, and that just turned the whole game around right there. Just a very impressive performance there here, with these last 4 games. So I'm very, very proud for my Ruston High Bearcats. And and then the way they fought back after the Neville game, that was a very close game. Did not start out good.
Right.
But they just found the way. And so I'm just very, very excited for them to start district play going forward.
Yeah, the first half I thought that they were kind of sluggish, making some mistakes and penalties, and but yeah, in the second half they really, and I think the crowd helped. I mean, it was a good crowd
Oh
there.
yeah, it was. Yep.
So who do they play? Starting district play? Where do they go first?
Believe it's Ash. So
okay, and then
so,
they'll get this. They'll get the same Pineville team that Jonesboro Hodge played.
Yep.
Isn't that right? They're in their district too.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. We got Pineville. We got Ash. Got West Washita, and West Monroe, I believe, to finish it off. So,
Right.
yeah, it's going to be, especially the Washita and the West Monroe games, they definitely scare you. But I don't know if you saw where West Washita lost to North Caddo last week.
Yeah,
so,
I did.
So that was shocking to see that. But I feel like it's going to come down to us, Washita and West Monroe, for that district title.
Yep. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully,
Same here.
we'll have some travel games and I can catch some of those. So, all right. Well, I guess we need to wrap it up. We're about to run out of our Zoom time here. So,
Good deal.
All right. Well, hey, good show this week. Good
It
talk.
was.
And we will look forward to finding out about Ruston and how they did, and then the Tech game homecoming.
Yep.
All right.
And good deal. Hopefully we can get a win, and can't wait to talk next week.
All right. Go Dogs.
Yes, sir.